In our last module, we learned about something called selectors. This entire module is all about exactly that, selectors. Because so far, we've actually seen pretty simple ones. They've probably looked something like this. And as you can see, this portion before the open curly brace, that's what we call a selector. And so far, we've only used ones that match the name of the HTML tag, which is totally fine if you want every single paragraph to look exactly the same, or say you only have one header on your page. As our web pages get a lot more complicated, we have a lot more of the same HTML element, and chances are we're going to want them to look different from one another. Thankfully, there's a whole list of different types of selectors that we can use to specifically target each one of these HTML elements. In this module, we're going to talk about things like classes, IDs, contextual selectors, pseudo-classes. All of those things are going to help us really narrow our CSS. For example, we've probably written some CSS like this for this HTML page. But as you can see, every single one of the paragraphs ends up looking exactly the same, because as long as I use the selector P for paragraph, it applies to every paragraph. Here's a preview of some of the things we're going to learn in this module. Now, I have 3 different rules for each of my 3 paragraphs, and they all look completely different, which makes my website a lot more dynamic. So, learning to properly select your HTML elements through CSS is crucially important to making sure that you get the most out of CSS.